the Trump administration, the Trump administration is also making it very clear that from all their investigations, they believe it is indisputable and 100% certain that your brother took his own life.
Well, yeah, because who are they protecting? Look, when Bill Barr made the statement about no one, it was a suicide because no one went in or out. When Kash Patel makes a statement saying that it's suicide when you see it. My question to him was, how many suicides has he seen? Okay, where you take Dr. Roman and Dr. Bodden, who did the actual autopsy, and they came out of the autopsy, and they said this looks more like a homicide than a suicide. Then how does the Trump administration say overrule that? Dr. Bodden has done about 500 autopsies on prison suicides over the last 50 years. There's very few people with that kind of experience. And he's saying that to him, this was not a suicide, it's a homicide. So, yeah, anyone in the Trump administration could say, I don't think so. But what's their backing? Like I said, when Kash Patel said, a suicide, when you see it, how many suicides has he seen? Is he a forensic pathologist? Is he a doctor? It's a laughable matter that he can come out social. Where months ago he was saying that it wasn't a suicide.
What is your message, Mark, to President Trump?
Let me finish. You got Bundy, you got Patel, you got Barr. All of these people work for Trump. Okay, so if they're covering up for somebody, who do you think they might be covering up for?
So you think they're covering up for President Trump?
People look at all of us. Everybody is looking at little pieces of this and coming up with kind of theories. But people really take the time, because there's a lot of facts, there's a lot of information. People who take the time and really investigate this thoroughly all come to the pretty much conclusion that maybe Trump was behind this.
Wow.
Well, maybe Jeff was killed to quiet him.
You think President Trump has something to do with Epstein, with your brother being killed?
I wouldn't write that off. Because if you look at all of the evidence we have and all of the facts, not opinions, and all of the facts, that wouldn't be something I would dismiss.
I mean, that's an extraordinary thing to say, but there is zero evidence that Donald Trump had anything to do with your brother's death.
Well, somebody did. And who, again, if you look at it's sort of maybe circumstantial, but if you look at all the people trying to make it look like a suicide, look, they just released a video of the door, up to the tier, and they're trying to make people think that was the door to the cell, showing that nobody went in or out of the cell. The video that was recently released was the door to the tier, the one that Bill Barr referred to. Now, here's an interesting fact. I asked years ago for the videotape from that very camera from 10 o'clock at night,